It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on a Thursday, the 28th day of October 2021. Coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area. A little on the cool side today. It's had some rain during the night. Expecting a little bit more this morning. It's only going to get up in the mid 60s today. That's this time of year for here in Virginia. So not too bad, not too great. That's just the way it is. So hope you guys are all having a wonderful day wherever you are. So today, folks, is National Chocolate Day. Now, I am not, oddly enough, for a big fat guy, a huge chocolate fan. I like certain things that are chocolate, but like a chocolate candy bar or something, I don't eat one every 5 years. Chocolate cake, once in a while. If it's something special, like a birthday cake or something. I do like chocolate pie. I like chocolate pudding. I like Boston cream pie that's got, the chocolate on the top. I like some of that. But overall, I'm just not that huge of a chocolate eater for a big fat guy. I get my fatness other ways. So, but anyway, it's National Chocolate Day. So I have some chocolate today, folks, to celebrate. Just saying. Or kiss somebody that ate some chocolate. That would be okay, too. All right, cruise ship sailing today from U.S. ports. Down in Fort Lauderdale, of course, the Celebrity Apex sails today for a 3-nighter. And in Miami, the Disney Magic on a 3-nighter and the Carnival Sunrise on a 4-nighter. Of course, the Carnival Sunrise was the last ship I was on before the shutdown. And my health went to bonkers. But that was, I got home from, I believe it was on the 2nd day of March, I got home from the Carnival Sunrise. So, in the news today, the Bahamas has extended that vaccination mandate date. Rotterdam Sets Sail with a world-class floating art gallery valued at $4.1 million. Wow. And more cancellations for Australian cruises, that and a lot more this morning. All right, first thing is Lisbeth on Location has a quiz for you, and not a quiz, a port for you to name. And of course, that might have been a couple years ago, but that's the lovely Elizabeth on Location, and you're to name that port. This is not near as hard as yesterday's, that's last 2 days. That one was pretty tough, folks. I have to admit that one was a rough one. This one, I think somebody's going to get relatively quickly. I did. I literally in seconds I got this one, so I'm expecting one of you guys to nail that real quick. But that's the port of the day today. All right, weather. There's not a whole lot going on, but this low pressure system that we've been following for the last couple of days, it's still a non-tropical low pressure system that's producing some storm force winds. It's now located about 350 miles south of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Strong winds along portions of the northeastern United States coast are forecast, and they should begin to gradually diminish through the day today as the low moves eastward away from shore at about 15 miles an hour. The low is then expected to turn southeastward towards slightly warmer waters for a couple days. Now, that means that when you get the warmer waters, it could acquire some subtropical characteristics by the weekend. So you're talking about the next 48 hours of chance of strengthening at about 10%. But over 5 days, they're still saying 30%. So that's enough to, keep our eyes on it just in case. But other than that, there's not a whole lot in the weather. Nothing else actually on either the Atlantic or the Pacific. So, all right, the Bahamas. Remember, the Bahamas kind of threw everything in a turmoil back a couple months ago when they came up with a vaccination mandate. Well, the Bahamian government announced an extension to the country's vaccination mandate for cruise ships seeing entry to the Bahamas. The extension was set to expire, November 1st. And now the extension is an open-ended until 2022. They don't give you a date. It's just open-ended until 2022. Now, remember, the CDC's date is January of 2022 when all of their stuff becomes voluntary for the cruise lines. Will the Bahamian government go with that date? We don't know. The Bahamas, of course, was one of the first cruise destinations to implement a mandate for cruise ships, which caused several cruise lines to change their onboard policies from COVID-19 vaccine optional to COVID-19 vaccine mandatory. And of course, that caused problems with the state of Florida. We all know about all that. The interesting thing about the whole thing with the Bahamas is that they require 100% on a cruise ship. If there's one person on the cruise ship that doesn't meet those stipulations, they won't let the ship in at all. So if the cruise lines want to go to the Bahamas, they have to have 100% vaccine folks. The Bahamas government vaccination mandate requires all cruise passengers aged 12 and older to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. That's the law. I mean, that's what it is. There are a few little stipulations here and there, but basically that's it. And if somebody is on that ship that is not vaccinated, they will turn the entire ship away. They will not let the ship in at all. So they've extended it. We don't know till when. We don't know how long, but it's extended. All right. This is interesting for a couple reasons, folks. The Rotterdam is, of course, the newest ship in the Holland American fleet. It is currently on a transatlantic repositioning voyage, which will end at its home port of Port Everglades for the inaugural cruise on November the 5th. Guests are in for a visually rewarding journey with some of the most thought-provoking, striking, and bold pieces of art in the fleet. Rotterdam's art collection is valued at more than $4.1 million. More than 2,500 pieces from dozens of global artists enhance the ship's design. The largest and most expensive piece is Harps, a 7.5-ton stainless steel sculpture in the atrium that spans 3 decks. With dynamic color-changing spotlighting and a mirrored ceiling, the work is a striking focal point on board. Harps was produced and designed by ArtLink based on a concept by Tahani Design. It's valued at $620,000. Just so you know, folks, I have been in contact with Jim and Sharon Sedlick, who are on board. They went to Amsterdam and are sailing it back to Fort Lauderdale. I've been in contact with them about the chance of possibly doing an interview and getting some firsthand information about the Rotterdam and how they like it and how the food is and, my usual questions. Hopefully we'll have a Wi-Fi signal strong enough to do that in the next couple of days, but I have been in contact. We've chatted back and forth. We just haven't had a signal that's conducive to what we need to do. So hopefully we'll have something on that in the next day or so. All right. Yeah, the poor people in Australia. All right, some more changes for Australian cruises, but at least there is some hint of some good news from down under. Princess Cruises and P&O Cruises Australia have announced that they've canceled additional Australia and New Zealand voyages into 2022. P&O Cruises Australia has canceled all Australia and New Zealand voyages through February 14th, 2022. Princess Cruise Line has canceled all voyages through March the 14th. Princess Cruises is currently sailing with fully vaccinated passengers and crew only, regardless of age. P&O Cruises Australia has already announced that it will do the same when it resumes passenger operations. Now, just yesterday, there were some reports from Australia that some of the politicians now are talking about, we got to get cruising restarted again. We've been left out. There's been much the same talk recently coming out of Canada because they completely shut out the cruise lines, and they're sitting and looking at the United States having successfully started now across with the right protocols in place, but clearly successfully had a restart. Europe was 4 or 5 months ahead of the US, and they've been going, well. So these, and now we've got some even in the Orient. So Australia and also Canada are talking about the same thing. They got to get it going, and it's the political end of things in both places. So it's going to be interesting to see if something doesn't happen here pretty quickly in both areas. So, all right, let's go. So I'll flash this up again in case anybody missed it. That's the port for the day. I have not looked at chat yet to see if anybody has gotten it. I'm getting ready to go over there. So I just wanted to flash that up one time before I go over here and see who's fussing at me or if anybody got it right. All right, Kenneth and Robin are with us up in Pennsylvania. Elizabeth was with us, of course. Buenos dias, Chillie and gang, she says, down in Cozumel. Kenneth says, we are so lucky to live in Cozumel. It's warm all year. Oh, you are so lucky to live in Cozumel. I was reading that wrong. There, at least my pea brain wasn't working. Yeah, I think so too. I agree with you, Kenneth. And Elizabeth loves it too. Of course, Elizabeth wants to get back on a cruise ship. That's her profession, and she's just waiting patiently to be recalled. So we hope that she gets on a ship real soon. But for now, I love the fact that she's adopted us, as it were. That's fabulous. Carol's with us. Hey, Carol, Gretchen's here. Hi, Gretchen. Elizabeth says, yes, I'm very grateful to live here. Kenneth, warm here pretty much all the time. Already 100 degrees Fahrenheit with the heat index right now. Another hot day in paradise. Gretchen says, I'll be leaving in mid-show to get beautified. Wow. A hair appointment. Nice. Elizabeth says, that's because we are sweet enough as it is. I'm not a chocolate fan either. Okay. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. A lazy, rainy day in Jacksonville. Gretchen says Catalina Island. Ding, 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 ding. Gretchen got actually the first guess was correct. Catalina is correct. There were other guesses. Avon, Stanley, and the Falklands. Gretchen says, "Are you packing yet, Nikki?" Tom Henry says, "I agree with Gretchen." Of course, that is correct. I see those blue huts as a good clue. Actually, what the thing that I noticed immediately was the building look over Elizabeth's shoulder there. That's just, if you've ever been to Catalina Island, you've probably been in that building, or at least have seen that building. So yeah, that was an easy one, guys. They're not going to all be this easy. The one tomorrow, not near as easy. I'll tell you that right now. Gretchen says that's a beautiful piece of art. Man, I tell you what, Holland America's just outdone themselves on the Rotterdam, I would think. Tom Henry says, I need to pick an NCL tour for my next visit to Cozumel, April 2022. Any suggestions? How about the plane flight to Chichen Itza? I see that as chicken pizza. Laugh out loud. I've been to Chichen Itza back in the days when you could climb that thing, and I was able to climb it. They don't let you climb it anymore, but it's still a good, it's a good excursion if you've got the time and port. The other thing that I've always enjoyed about Cozumel is I'd get off. Of course, I've hit several of the bars in town several times, but I've gone up and found nice little local beaches and have some very enjoyable days. So, yeah, we'll see if Elizabeth comes up with Elizabeth knows the excursion companies down there, Tom Henry. I forgot about that. I bet you Elizabeth's going to come up with some suggestions for you pretty quick. Tom Henry says, NCL News, the breakaway cannot dock again for the second day in Bermuda. They are saying due to the rough seas, but I wonder if COVID problems making Bermuda hesitate on allowing the ship in. Now, I saw some reports earlier. Bermuda's getting banged with that storm that low pressure system that's floating around out there. It's just causing lots of wind, lots of wave action. It's affecting the northeastern United States as well. Well, it's probably the weather we had here yesterday. So yeah, I doubt it that it's COVID, because again, almost all the ships have some COVID on it, but they've got the protocols to take care of it. So I'm not sure Bermuda would keep them out. I don't know. Bermuda does have some strange laws. So that's an interesting thought, Tom. Nikki says, Gretchen, I'll start thinking about packing on Sunday. We sail on Tuesday. If I pack too far ahead, I forget what I packed. Yeah, I know. I asked amigo John this morning if he was done packing yet. Of course, he doesn't leave till Saturday. Sounds like they have at least one couple who is positive, and everyone at their dinner theater seating Monday has been quarantined. Plus, there were 30 inconclusive PCL tests from the boarding test. All right, you've gotten some updated information from my head. I knew about one couple, and I knew that they had quarantined a bunch of people, but I did not get an update on that this morning. So Tom has, he's got his finger on the NCL pulse, so that's very possibly what's going on there. Elizabeth says, If you have never been, Chicken Pizza is a great tour. However, it's a full day, so you have zero time in Cozumel. Nikki says, Tom, you are so good at port recognition. I must learn to pay closer attention. I agree. I was lucky. And Elizabeth will tell you, I rarely get them, unless it's something that just jumps out and grabs me like this one did. But I mean, even if I've been to a port several times, doesn't mean I'll recognize it from a photograph. I'm just not good at this. And Tom seems to be the best so far. But I was glad to see somebody besides Tom get it right this time. Katie's with us. Severe weather expected for my area, staying put at one of my schools. I don't blame you at all. Tom Henry says, my problem is packing is okay, but I have so many compartments and backpack, I have trouble remembering where everything is located. Elizabeth says, once I get cruising again, I will go on location from all the ports. I am so looking forward to that. That will be just awesome. Tom Henry says, I'd love to do the dune buggy excursion, but they have a diabetic exclusion. Yeah, because if they don't want you to have a medical issue if they're out on dune buggies in some place funky. Gretchen says, Avalon is the city on Catalina. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I skimmed over that when I saw Avalon. Yes, that is correct. That is on Catalina Island. The casino, yes. Nikki says heavy thunderstorms are predicted for the next couple of hours here as well. That's in Jacksonville. Looks like they're sliding down the peninsula. Gretchen says, got to go. Have a great day. Get all purty. Get all purty, Gretchen. We'll expect pictures. Tom says, my info on Breakaway is from Sharon at Sea. They were live as I left them to come here. Okay, then, and they're on board. So that would be the most up-to-date information. So thank you, Tom, for keeping us informed, as always. And, of course, Elizabeth, thank you for Catalina Island picture today. I love the picture. I felt good that I got it. So, as I usually don't. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Not a terrific amount of news. Again, nothing earth-shattering, which is good. I mean, yeah, there was a couple stories, but nothing terrible. So we're always in favor of that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Let's see. Tomorrow is Friday. I have a special guest tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I do. Emma Watts is on the other side of the pond, and she's got an interesting side story to being a major cruise lover, which I thought would be just neat to talk to her about. So, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. If you don't know Emma yet, you will tomorrow, and it's going to be interesting to talk to. And of course, I'll always have something from Elizabeth on location, guaranteed. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. You guys have a terrific day. Stay out of trouble. Stay healthy. Think about cruising if you're not. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm going to work on my situation again today. So that's it for today. This is the old fat travel guy. I'll see everybody at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow for Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News with a special guest. I'll see you tomorrow. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.